so in this video I'm going to be giving some quick thoughts on the first 3 ToK essay titles for November 2024. I will be putting up more detailed videos for each question, so do subscribe if you want to catch those, and I'll be putting up full written guides on my website toklifeline.com. Okay, so the first prompt is: does our responsibility to acquire knowledge vary according to the area of knowledge? And you have to talk about history and another AOK for this one. So this is a pretty straightforward title as far as ToK essays go. The first key point to address would be, in what sense might acquiring, so seeking and understanding knowledge, be considered a responsibility? You could frame it as a moral or ethical responsibility, because acquiring knowledge, or indeed failing to acquire knowledge, can directly impact well-being on both an individual and societal level. Human well-being, that is. You might also frame it as an epistemic responsibility. So this refers to our duty as knowers to understand the world around us using reason and evidence. Okay, and the second key part of the prompt is whether this responsibility varies according to the AOK in question. Now, this could refer to variations in the types of responsibilities across AOKs, or the degree to which the same type of responsibility exists across AOKs. On the one hand, we might say our responsibility does vary according to the AOK. I mean, it could be argued that there's often a more pressing societal responsibility to acquire knowledge in the natural sciences than in history, because, gaining knowledge about the symptoms of a certain disease has a more immediate impact on human well-being than understanding historical events does. And you could also argue that different AOKs share the same type of responsibility, and perhaps to the same degree too. For example, history and certain fields within the human sciences, like anthropology, share the same responsibility of acquiring knowledge about the perspectives of different groups in an accurate manner. This prompt could be connected to all elements of the knowledge framework, although I'd say ethics and scope are particularly applicable here. So yeah, that's something worth bearing in mind when thinking about knowledge questions. Okay, the second title: in the production of knowledge, is ingenuity always needed but never enough? And for this one, you have to talk about mathematics and another area of knowledge. So while the first title focused on acquiring knowledge, this one's specifically about the production or creation of new knowledge. And it brings in this idea of ingenuity, so being amazingly original, innovative, etc., as being a necessary part of producing knowledge, whilst also having to rely on other factors. And we can see that ingenuity is obviously important for major breakthroughs in areas like mathematics and the natural sciences, for instance, in the development of new theorems or the discovery of new particles. And a clear reason why it is needed is that producing knowledge, especially in those AOKs, can be very difficult, to say the least. And perhaps you can only get so far with existing methodologies and theories. Even so, it could be considered not enough on its own, because it's all very well having a bright idea, but if it isn't scrutinized and validated by others, it's not going to get accepted by the wider academic community. So yeah, when answering this question, also pay attention to the words always and never, because it's kind of giving you two absolute conditions, both of which you can challenge. So there are multiple directions you can take your argument. And the most relevant part of the knowledge framework here would be methods and tools. Okay, finally, title 3. How might it benefit an area of knowledge to sever ties with its past? And you can choose whichever two AOKs you like for this one. So I mean, this is a pretty interesting title. Basically, it's about the advantages of AOKs leaving behind, say, perspectives, methodologies, paradigms which might be considered outdated in some way. We could be talking about things like historic attitudes to gender or mental illness in the human sciences, which you could say are pretty different today, or more Eurocentric perspectives in the study of history. So yeah, what are some benefits for AOKs severing ties with the past? From an ethical point of view, discarding older and potentially problematic perspectives, like the ones I mentioned before, this can help make AOKs more inclusive and ensure they're in line with current societal norms. From a methodological standpoint, getting rid of outdated or redundant approaches to research can allow for the development and application of more relevant and sophisticated methods. So yeah, there are a few issues you could explore here which connect with the different parts of the knowledge framework. Though one thing I would note is if you are going to answer this prompt, just make sure you don't end up listing lots of different benefits for each AOK. Focus on analyzing a few and also make sure you think about the potential issues with an AOK severing ties with its past. Because, I mean, yes, the title is focused on the benefits, but you should also think about the potential costs that come with them. Okay, yeah, so those were just some ideas for the first 3 titles. As I mentioned, I'll be making specific videos for each. Let me know in the comments if there's one you want me to cover first, because, I mean, I will get around to doing all of them, but if you let me know if there's one you prefer, I can prioritize. Thank you very much for watching.